Have you ever just looked at your bank account and felt kinda confused? You make a good salary, you're not out there buying yachts, but your money just seems to evaporate before you've done anything fun with it. It really feels like there's a leak somewhere that you just can't find. Well, today we're going to find it because that number, on average, is what's quietly draining from your accounts every single year. This is the amount of money we lose to completely invisible automatic charges. It's not one big expense, it's 1,000 tiny cuts. So yeah, where did it go? That's the big question we're answering today. We are going to find the scarce money, we're going to stop the leak, and we're going to redirect it right back to your future. So how has this even happened? Well, it all starts with the psychology of the small charge. Think about it. When you see a $150 purchase, your brain kind of hits the brakes. You think about it, right? But a $12 monthly fee for some streaming service, your brain just goes, that's the price of the sandwich. And it completely bypasses the financial part of your brain. But let's do the real sandwich map for a second. That one forgotten $15 a month service, that's not just $180 a year. If you had invested that money instead, over 10 years, it would have grown to more than $2,700. That is the true cost of a single forgotten app. And this is where it gets really wild. There's this massive data-backed gap between what we think we spend and what we actually spend. The average person estimates they spend about $86 a month on subscriptions. The real number? A staggering $219. That difference alone adds up to almost $1,600 a year, just leaving your account on autopilot, a lot of the time for services you don't even remember signing up for. Again, this isn't about you making big, dumb mistakes. It's about your money being siphoned away through tiny, invisible cuts. Now, you might be thinking you're just being forgetful, but you're not. You're actually a target. See, this isn't an accident. It's a deliberate and, frankly, a highly effective business strategy. The enemy actually has a name. It's called friction design. It's this whole field dedicated to making the subscribe button a 10-second, one-click dream, while making the cancel button a 10-minute soul-crushing nightmare. And I know you've experienced this. We've all been there, right? Digging through 5 layers of hidden menus, being forced to make a phone call, sitting on hold forever, and then clicking through 3 different screens that are all practically begging you not to leave. That is friction by design. And how well does it work? It's shockingly effective. Right now, more than half, 55% of all people with subscriptions are actively paying for at least one service they do not use at all. The business model doesn't need you to love the product. It just needs you to be mildly annoyed by the cancellation process. The poster child for this, of course, is the gym membership. I mean, the entire fitness industry knows that most people who sign up in January will stop going by March. They aren't hoping you stay. Their whole business model relies on you not showing up so they can collect billions from just the idea of fitness. And this set it and forget it trap also applies to our normal bills. Autopay is great, don't get me wrong, but it makes sure you never notice when your internet bill quietly creeps up by $5 or your car insurance goes up $15 at renewal. You probably didn't choose that new rate. You just let it happen because changing it felt like way too much work. Okay, so how do we fight back and actually fix this? The good news is it doesn't take some complicated spreadsheet or an expensive app. It takes 15 minutes, 4 times a year, that's it. So here's the plan. First, you set a calendar reminder for every 3 months. When it pops up, you pull up your last 90 days of statements. Go through every single recurring charge and ask one simple, ruthless question. Did I actively use this in the last 30 days? If the answer is no, you cancel it. Immediately. Go pause it, cancel it. You have to be ruthless. Okay, so once you've cut all the fat, the next step is to tackle the bills you actually need. Things like your internet, your phone, your insurance. Because believe it or not, these are almost always negotiable. In fact, get this. A stunning 92% of people who simply call their internet or cable provider to negotiate their bill are successful. These companies have huge retention budgets just sitting there waiting for the tiny number of people who actually bother to call. And the payoff for that one little phone call? The average annual savings is $550 per bill. It's real money just waiting for you on the other end of 20 minutes of some kind of bad hold music. And you don't even have to think about what to say. Here's the exact script. Just say this, word for word. Hi, I've been a customer for X years. I'm reviewing my budget and I found a better deal with a competitor. Is there anything you can do to lower my rate? That's it. Trust me, they have a playbook ready to give you a discount. Okay, now finding and saving this money is an amazing first step. But, and this is a really big but, if you don't give that cash a new job, it will just get absorbed back into your life. You know, a slightly nicer coffee here, an extra takeout order there, and poof, it's gone all over again. So listen up, because this is absolutely the most important step in the entire process. You have to redirect that ghost money. If you skip this part, I promise you, the money will just disappear back into the fog of lifestyle creep. So here's how you do it. First, calculate your new total monthly savings from everything you canceled and negotiated. Then, right away, you set up an automatic monthly transfer for that exact amount. And you set it somewhere it can actually grow, like a high-yield savings account or a simple investment account. Does it really make that big of a difference? Oh yeah. If you save just $200 a month, which is totally doable, that's just a few subscriptions and one negotiated bill, and you invest it over 30 years, it can grow to over $250,000. And really think about what that means. You didn't have to get a raise. You didn't have to start some grueling side hustle. You just stopped being a passive target for this invisible extraction economy. You found a leak, you patched it, and you bought back a huge piece of your own future. So I'll leave you with one final question to get you started. What is the first subscription you are going to cancel today?